What did you put in it?
Dessert. Smoothie. Vietnamese smoothie.
You got the That is nice.
You like?
I make smoothies at home, but not like this.
Don't get shocked if I ask you this. I'm not asking you to pay, but would you pay for my food?
Yeah, for sure.
How much would you pay for the noodle?
God.
Yes, I don't want to score
No,
score 1 to 10, whatever. But then,
look, I wouldn't be cheap. Put it that way.
That's why score is hard. Everybody's scoring system is different. But
No,
how
no,
much would you
I'm
pay
thinking-
for the bowl of noodle like that? If you have it for lunch, how much would you pay for it? Be honest, doesn't matter.
Okay.
$1, $5,
No,
$30,
wait a minute,
$50, because you know how the system works.
I don't know how the system.
No, you know how we have to spend money.
Yeah. Let me finish, okay? For me, this is how I look at it. I'd rather pay a $30 meal or a $50 meal. That's good. Than go to Macca's and I can't eat their burgers. Right? Even though it might be cheaper, to me, that's the loss. Whereas if I'm at a, say if you were in the cooking thing and I went to your restaurant and I got a bill for $30 or $40, I'd be happy to pay because I could eat.
But if you eat it already, like once, twice, and you like it and you know what it tastes, but like, would you come back for it?
Yes.
Okay. If you pay for the bowl of noodle for lunch, just a simple lunch, not a big fancy restaurant, like that bowl of noodle, if it's on the street and then you walk by at lunchtime and have it, how much would you pay for it?
Oh, God.
See, like if I really sell it, how much would you pay? I ask you to pay whatever to your taste, then you pay how much?
If it was to my taste, and you're talking about street food,
the bowl of noodles that we had today.
They call it street food. Okay. I'd probably look about $15.
Okay, like that. If I can sell that bowl of noodle for $15, I can make a living out of it.
Yeah.
So it should be alright. Like if I keep doing it and I really open a street food vendor, then I'll survive, right?
Yeah, you would.
And
I don't think
people would buy it.
Yeah, I don't.
If you pay $15, do you think people will buy it? People will stop by for lunch?
It would be, yes, because it would go, to me, the best advertisement is from people to people. I like Hannah's food, let's go, and then they tell their friends, it's word by mouth, and for me, that's the best way of getting to know it.
This one is kiwi, blended with mango and orange juice.
Nice, it tastes really nice.
Back home, it started with smoothies, started with fruit and no milk. We don't have fresh milk, so we have it blended with ice and sugar. But because I don't have ice cube and I can't drink too cold,
No, it's fine.
too much ice, then I blend it with juice.
No, it's very nice though. You can taste the
Yum, huh?
Not the juice,
Kiwi.
the kiwi. Got a nice taste to it. Yeah, but going back to you, I don't think you realise how good you are with cooking.
Thank you.
No, seriously, yeah, I mean, I don't think you appreciate your talents as much as you should, but you're very talented.
This one is so good with mango. It make it thicker, but I ran out of mango.
No, but that's nice. It's sticking up for me. Yeah, no, it's nice. When I make mine, because I don't drink milk, I drink almond milk. I use the almond milk.
Is it too sour for you? I didn't
No.
put
No.
sugar.
Just leave it like that. Yeah, no. No, it's not sour. It's the kiwi fruit you can taste. So to me, no, not like just eating. I wouldn't have known you had juice in there. You know, so to me it's
Yeah,
nice.
because the juice is cold and a bit of water. I don't want to add water and sugar.
No.
So that's why I put a bit of
You
juice.
don't look. You've done the right thing. It is nice, but as I said, I reckon you could do your own restaurant and all of that if you had the backing and all of that. You know.
Even though we know each other for so long, but I don't think you know that we Vietnamese people now is different. I don't know about now, so when I talk to you about we, it's only me, like when I was back home. We don't have dessert.
You don't?
No.
Oh, what did?
All the sweet, it would be in the New Year, or wedding, or birthday, or snack in the market. Like grandmother will buy some sweet, some snack from the market when she come home, or mother buy snack, and then for kids to eat. But my mom never buys snack. The sweet, the candy. Like grandmother, you come to your grandmother's house, she will make you some sweet, or she buy it from the market and then give it to the grandkids. We don't have dessert. We eat food. And then, if you have guests or someone come over, we have fruit.
Oh yeah, well that's still dessert, fruit.
No, but it's not supposed to be dessert. Like it's optional. Like if you can afford, then you have. But after food, we don't have dessert. That's what I mean. We don't prepare in our mind cultures. We don't make dessert for the. Now, of course, like plenty. Yes,
but
food after food and after food and all that.
We don't like when I was growing up. We didn't have dessert, but when my mum made like say a baked dinner or whatever, we would go to the shop and buy ice cream and bring it home. Because back in those days, they were in like a cardboard box, and we didn't have fridges like you've got. Anyway, that would be maybe once in a blue moon. Back in those days, you had your meal and that was it basically, and you're going.
That's what I mean.
But,
like if you have something at my place and then you will be like expecting some dessert or something, then it will never in my mind, I forget. I won't remember.
You know what?
Unless I really plan it, or if it's a party, I throw a party, then maybe get some sweet after.
When I was bringing up the kids, right, they didn't have desserts all the time. I think that's more later, like it's more of a younger generation that has the dessert. Like my grandkids, all of them.
Last time I went to your place, I had dessert. See, that's what I mean. Like you already got your dessert. Like pie, apple pie. With ice cream and. I don't have that. I don't even have that in mind.
That's only because look. When I was growing up, we didn't have that neither. You had your main meal, but that's what I'm saying. Probably desserts started coming out more with families, maybe mid-80s. But prior to that, most people had their own. Their own meals, If you probably came from an English background, you might have had, but I don't come from an English background. So we didn't have desserts like that, so...
in the 80s, it's very recently too, so like in Vietnam, we were like in the 90s. Not far off.
My grandkids, like, I didn't realise how much they had desserts after their meal until my eldest daughter was telling me. You know, I said, what, you have dessert every night? She goes, yeah. And my grandson, when he has a meal at my house, he expects dessert, so he just toddles off and gets himself an ice cream or something out of the freezer. So it's not, I think it depends on what culture you come from too, but definitely my culture,
Era.
Yeah.
I think nowadays.
I mean, I see myself as Australian, but my parents came from Europe, so their culture was different kind of stuff.
And they can't bring the whole thing here, like,
no.
And then here.
However, and it was really funny, talking to a friend of mine, and she came from Polish family, and we were just talking about customs and all of that.
Yeah.
And she said one time, every time I make coffee, you know, her friends would leave because they were Polish, okay? But when it turns out, and the Yugoslavs are the same and all of that kind of stuff, that when you give after they've had a meal and you've sat and talked and whatever, right, and the coffee comes out again, okay.
It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a signal.
Wow.
And then she didn't realise, because, you know, she was only a baby when she came to Australia, and then she was told, no, when you give them the coffee, right,
that's a signal for you to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In a polite way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, you know. But
see, if we don't know that, we're gonna be just keep on sitting there to drink the coffee.
Yeah.
For us, like if you keep giving
that's
coffee,
that's what my friend did, right? so when she go to visit, right, the same culture, she would just sit and drink, not knowing it's
time to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's not a straight away thing.
Yeah.
It's just like they've eaten, they've socialised, they've did this or whatever, and it's getting late. So
well, then I have to tell you about my cultures. If you come into my place, and I will have not a mug of tea like this, I will have a pot of tea, and you have the little cup, and I keep like offering and pouring for you to drink. And you're gonna keep on drinking. It means, you know, we still like keep on talking and chatting, and then I'll put more boiled water and make a new pot of tea until forever. Like I mean, as the day, like how long it goes, and when you want to go, because we will never say I want you to go. No. We'll like stay on forever until whenever you feel you want to go or you need to go. Then your cup, your own cup, because I keep pouring. And when you don't want, you're about to leave or something like that, you won't take a sip anymore. You will like, you don't do that. Your cup, the tiny cup, I show you. Your tiny cup will be like still filled. So the pot can be this small only, and then I have a kettle that, you know, thermal kettle that with hot water. I'm gonna add to the tea, and then I add more tea.
Oh my God!
I will add more tea and throw out the old tea leaves and add more tea and add more water. And I'm gonna like keep on adding the cup of tea for you. And then when you take a sip, I will do that again. Keep on doing that. And when you don't want to drink, about to leave, you don't drink. But every now and then you drink a little bit. It means you're gonna stay. And then when you want to leave, then you're gonna leave your cup filled. Like you won't touch it. And then I won't pour anymore. Then I know you're about to leave. You don't want to go and you don't want to stay any longer because you need to.
Would be interesting though.
Because like you can't drink out of this, you won't be full.
No. But it's
and of course, because you know how long you stay, then you won't drink up until you're like really full.
Well, as I said, it'd be interesting to know if the custom that I
I
told
know.
you about the coffee
I know.
still exists.
Then that's
'Cause
how
yeah.
when you
I don't know if it still exists
you make
today.
a coffee, then it's time for you to leave, and everyone stood up and gone. Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah, because
Wow.
they'll have their coffees and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but once it's finished, they'll say
So
goodbye.
okay, when your cup is full, right, and then after a while I can't fill it up for you anymore, and I know like you're about to, then I will let you like easing it in
It's
and
interesting.
not starting a new topic or
Yeah.
conversations that are gonna go on
Yeah,
forever to
yeah.
hold you up.
Yeah.
Because if like I insist you to drink, then you have to drink, and then you keep on staying, then we can't finish talking,
No.
right? So before you leave, you were like, okay, thank you for something, and then you drink it up.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah.
So by the time you finish, you're so polite that you leave, and then give me the signal not to feel anymore, and then you finish it out of respect that I finished your offer, and then I have to go now. But soon you finish the cup, and then you put it down, and you say bye.
Yeah. Amazing.
Then you'll go like, thank you something.
Yeah, or
something,
whatever.
and
Yeah.
then the
But as
person
I
will
said,
let
I
you go.
don't know if that system still applies to what I said. And the
I
only
don't know
reason-
either. I
yeah.
don't know if it works there now
And
anymore.
the thing is, the only reason was we were talking about cultures, and that's when the person was telling me about their experience and all that. And then someone says, yeah, well, we make coffee, and we do the same kind of stuff. But as I said, that was like pre-World War II, and I'm like what they call a baby boomer, so it still flowed through. I also had an experience once, we're talking about culture, right? And this came from someone who was Italian, and we were talking, and she was talking about the culture and all of that kind of stuff. And as we were talking, she said to me, she said, would you believe I have more of, even though I was born in Australia, that I have more Italian culture in me than when I went to visit my cousins. They didn't have it, So as
the Italian is very good at keeping their culture.
And
really good.
Well, as she said,
Like the
they were a
Chinese too.
visitor. She said we were a visitor to my cousins and all of that, but they were going to a party, so they went to a party. She said, here, I wouldn't have been allowed to. I would have had to stay home, So she was talking about how things had changed back at the motherland,
and us here,
and
like
back here, how they held on to the old stuff and hadn't advanced. So that's why I say I don't know whether people still have the same belief system or culture.
That made me think, like, if I'm going back home now, I think I'm more backward than them. And all these things may be all gone already. Like,
maybe.
Like,
I don't know.
Like maybe now they're having dessert. Maybe they have a mug of tea.
Yeah,
Not,
I don't know.
Not this anymore.
Maybe your grandmother might.
My grandma's passed away.
No, I'm just saying she was alive. Maybe she would probably.
Maybe no one's keeping it anymore.
I don't know. All I know is that it's interesting when you talk to people with different cultures and backgrounds, how when they go and visit their parents' homeland or whatever, they've actually got the older culture stuff in them. They haven't moved on, but back at their homeland, those people.
What's your signal when you want your guests to go home? Here, yours.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that's a good question. I don't really have one.
Oh, I have an appointment. I have to go. We already booked at what time, and then that's it. I have to go.
Yeah, no, I've got to think about that
Have
one.
you ever been in that situations? Like you want someone to leave and you don't know what to say? Well, just say it.
No, I would never be good like that. No. Honestly, like when I was working in that, I don't think I had one.
Signal like
I
that,
don't
isn't it?
have one. I think you kind of know You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you've been there for a few hours and you've eaten, you've drank,
and already the routine.
Yeah,
know someone you know already.
Then you think, I've got, and normally they might say I've got to go because I've got work tomorrow or something like that. So they tend to tell me, you know.
Or they already know before you come, right?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, because if I'm invited, say, by you, I might say, look, yes, I'll come, but I have to leave by 2 o'clock, you know.
You know, back home, they do have kind of like call each other and make appointment to meet up. Like if I go back now, they can, you know, chat and make appointment. I still can't get used to that yet.
Like what I did.
Like to make appointment. How do you get used to that, like making appointment? Is it more convenience or just turn up and more relaxed way, like what I had before would be easier?
Okay.
Which way you think is better?
All right. Because I've walked on this planet for a while. Back when I was younger, you just went to visit and you knock on the door. If they were home, they were home.
Yeah, we don't have mobile phone and make appointments.
You know, that's what we used to do. Okay.
So how did you adjust to what's happening now?
Well, the reason I adjusted as I got older is because of people's lifestyle, right? Some say it could be work. It could be having to take a child to a sporting thing.
Event,
Yeah, you know. So it's trying to find the time you want to spend. So you kind of, I don't see it as making an appointment. I just see it that if I have like I was with you, you know, then I know, yes, I can spend time with you. You're not busy having to go or whatever. So for me, I would be working in with you so we both can sit and enjoy.
Do you miss the olden time? Do you miss that like before? I still do.
The olden times, can you clarify what you mean by
like
olden?
that? You just go and knock on the door. It's more of, I think it's less stress, more relaxed, more enjoyable.
Look,
if you can, because you're free and that they knock on the door, they're not busy, and you sit and chat for a little bit. It's more, I think it's not stressful. Of course, it's planned out, but I mean, if you planned out already, then you have to meet that plan.
Okay, back in those days, right, it was stressful for them, you know, growing up. Like, you know, your mother might have been home, I'm just using that as an example, and your father might be working, but there was stress as well.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I think where the biggest change comes is that I think this generation, right, you're more aware what's happening around them, right? Back in, say, my days, we'd go out and play and come home when the street lights were turned on, right? But the family wasn't aware of what could likely happen with the children or anything like that, you know. Like when I was going to primary and school, like you would see kids with their arms in plaster and things like that, because there wasn't the safety conscious with say the park. So the kid would fall, break their arm and that.
The risk assessment and all that.
Yeah, so I think there's
nothing you miss. Nothing in the olden day you miss.
No, not really. No. The only thing I would say, the freedom, but the freedom did come at a price. Like parents weren't aware that their kids were in more danger, you know. So
see, that's the thing. We're different. I miss a lot. I miss a lot of things.
Yeah, but don't forget, you've got family back at home, like back in Vietnam, right? I don't know any family. You know, my parents met here after the war, you know. So there was a lot of that kind of stuff.
Nothing to miss.
No, because I think it's better with today. Yeah, we have challenges today, society, but I think society is much more aware, you know, of discrimination, of whatever, you know. I think this society is a lot more better. Yeah, you know, we might coddle the kids, but we're aware more why, you know. So,
a lot more things available.
Yeah.
Even knowledge and information.
So I could say I had freedom of not knowing, but that freedom of not knowing, you know, I was
something
I didn't have to pay for, but others did, you know. I mean, another one is example where in my time, if you went to school, there was no such thing as dyslexic or anything like that, you know, or autism or that. You're either smart or dumb. But nowadays people realise it's changed. You know, people's brains are wired differently. So no, not really. I think we've advanced a bit more better. That doesn't mean we can't improve more though.
Of course, they're always to improve.
So what do you miss with your one?
Yeah, I missed that. I missed, you know how now everything's like in a routine and it's become boring and stressful. Like, yeah, if you go to work, even a sick day becomes stressful.
Can you expand on that?
You're like a machine. More like a machine. That's how I feel. I feel like a machine.
Press your button. Monday, stay home watching. Saturday, I've got to
like
go to work, press the button.
How do you reprogram it? I feel like I've been programmed.
You have, to a certain degree. That's society. You have to be programmed to a certain degree to function in society. That's doesn't matter where you go or what country you go to.
And because everybody programmed, you know, whatever to whatever their lifestyle and whatever routine they have to fit in, and everybody means everybody programmed differently, and we never meet.
But the thing is that's part of society. It has to be programmed. Otherwise, we wouldn't function as a society. You know, you can imagine.
That's why I want to hang on to something that, you know, used to be like more.
Give me an
enjoyable.
Example. Give me an example.
I don't know.
Let's say in Vietnam, right? I'm not talking here. Back when you were younger.
That's the thing. Now I don't know.
No, I'm not
I
talking
only about
now.
the olden time.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
And that's
olden.
what I miss. Yeah.
I'm talking
like
about.
I can just turn up to my friend's place and then chat, and then, you know, if they eating lunch or dinner, they just stay, and then I eat and then go home, just like that.
Yeah, that's how I grew up. Yeah, but the thing
But
is,
we can't do that anymore.
No, because
I don't think it's because of age.
No, I just
everybody.
Think, no, I think also. No, seriously, Hannah. I honestly think people are a lot more observant and people are a lot more aware. And like the internet, you know, like you talk about bullying, right? In my days, you only got bullied at school. You come home, you weren't bullied, you know, saying hypothetically. Now, you talk about bullying, it comes into the home with the kids because it goes on to social media and all of that. So you don't get that break kind of stuff, you know. So I think when you look at it, we're much more aware than when in my time, because you had breaks where you couldn't get to that kid anymore, you know.
Or like if back home, like you have school holiday, your families and my families will go out together, not just you and me.
Yeah.
We go on holiday.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. It's like now it's like you plan with your family and I plan with my family, and they will never meet.
Yeah, people live a solitary lifestyle. Yes, I agree with you.
Like, of course, now maybe they're the same like here as always on the internet or game something, and then of course they're busy with something already, so they don't want to go out.
No, but
and then have that get together time.
Yeah, but
like that, everybody rush.
I think technology plays a big part because I'm sure when you were younger or when I was younger, we were out on the streets more playing and running.
Yeah.
Today, it's all technology.
That's what I miss.
So the kids don't really want to, they might run around for a little bit on the road, but 9 times out of 10, it's very, very quiet on the road because they're at home. And I think,
and everybody.
And if you look at it, when they build houses, the yards are getting smaller, right? Because the living is inside the house. Where before, in my days, my mum said, go out and play.
And the walking, the further, and the traffic, and the held up, and the whatever, and they all rushing just to go home, to be in their
little home. Yeah. And you know, I mean,
that's what I mean.
But as I said,
maybe it's just me.
It's no, not just you. I think there's a lot of people who prefer the olden days, right? Whereas with me, it was simpler, but let's have a look at it. Why was it simpler? 1, it was less population. 2, people all looked the same basically, right? There wasn't a mixture of cultures here, kind of stuff, and that, you know, that all came when you're talking about lifestyles that's really different. That came more in the 70s after the Vietnam War and all of that kind of stuff, you know. So, like, when I was growing up, we didn't have Vietnamese food. Weren't even exposed to that, you know. The first Aboriginal person that I ever saw was when I was in high school. You know, so that's what I'm saying. So if you look at the cultures, we were much more isolated and think, as I said, thinking.
Do you like the mixed cultural food now? Oh, you got everything.
Yeah, no, but
everything.
Look, I'm not saying we don't have our problems, but what I do say is, I'm glad we are a mixed race. You know, I'm glad, like, you know, that I don't have to travel the world. I've got it here.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I think.
And I honestly, I do see it for the better.
Even my country, like all the Western food, were, you know, imported or whatever, came to our country. But when I taste, you know how I go back, I eat pizza, pasta, what do you call?
Rice.
Burgers.
Oh, burgers, yeah.
They still taste different. You know how we eat it here, the burgers, and go back there because of the ingredients back home? Different.
But also too, and I learnt this from YouTube, right? Burgers and that, they don't put beetroot on it. You know, so maybe when you go back home, there's no beetroot. They don't put. There's a lot of things they don't put on it that we put. In Australia, so it is different kind. But as I said, for me personally, I'm glad we're a mixed race. You know, because
so with me, like if I'm living in Vietnam right now, like if I want to eat the food that come from different culture, I think I have to travel. Not like here in Australia, we like have a lot of mix and like restaurants and each.
But but not just the food, like just us being friends. You know, you're teaching me.
And you get the person from that origins to make it and cook it and serve it. It's like different from the one you like eat.
Well, traditionally have that. But the thing is, as I said, having mixed culture, right? If I use you as an example, you expand my mind because you're telling me your history or this is the way, like the cup of tea you're telling me. I didn't know anything about it until today. You know what I mean?
And until today, I know about the cup of coffee.
Yeah, well, there you go, see? but you know what I'm saying? Like,
now make me think, did someone send me a signal by making me a second cup of coffee to tell me to go home?
I'm talking about old culture. I don't know today, so you can't
But it makes me think, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, as I said, yeah, we don't get me wrong, we do have problems, you know, and there's things I don't like what I see. But if I put that aside for a minute, I think we have more positive than negative, you know, kind of stuff. And understanding cultures and understanding people a lot more better than, say, in the 60s and all of that. You know what I mean?
Better than get your head sticking in the sand.
Yeah, you know. You know, people forget, yeah, we might have had an easier lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of dangers there that parents didn't know about, you know, kind of stuff and that. So, you know, it's not all roses and that. So, yeah, I just think, yeah, you can learn by your past, but you got to embrace today too. And I think we're much better being multinational, you know. Like you say, go to any restaurant, you can go to the world here, you know, kind of stuff. And yeah, we know there's some good restaurants and there's some crap restaurants, you know. And the thing is, yeah, not everybody wants to blend in, so be it. But
and maybe it's not because of their food, it's because of our taste.
Could be. But some people are stuck into their own traditions that they don't want to blend in. But that's not to say their kids won't. You know, or
there's most of the thing, like even me, I cook at home here, but it's still infused with the cultures because of the ingredients and whatever we get here, we have to work around it.
Exactly.
And some of the traditional food, we had it because we had no choice. But when you explore more, it's more like all the better because you find your own whatever finding.
But don't forget,
really,
especially in your homeland, right? There was a lot of influence with French and all of that too. So that's all incorporated as well, you know, kind of stuff and that. I mean, I remember when I was working and this person was Korean, but from the old school. She could only speak Japanese because that is what she learnt back in Korea because the lifestyle was so different.
So the Chinese, the traditional one and the simplified one. So the younger people now, they can't read the actual like complex one that, you know, olden time.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, see. So,
and like the dish today, the wonton noodle soup is a Chinese dish.
Yeah, but it's still nice.
And but if you go to the Chinese restaurant, you can't find the dish that I made today.
No, that was beautiful.
They don't put the chrysanthemums in the dish.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, you're right. But as I said, honestly, like having
to improve on the tradition.
You know, and the thing is, as I said, you got to embrace who you are and never let go of that part of who you are too, kind of stuff, you know. You've got to embrace your own culture, but you have to also accept the new changes.
You know, even this thing is new. We didn't have that before.
Really?
And all these things come later, you know, when people can afford to, I think. We don't have this. We have this, so like simple. I said, we had a metal plate that, you know, you put your chopstick in, you put your bowl on the side, and then, you know, even your chopstick on the side of that big metal plate. And round table is like round table, but we sit on the floor.
What I find interesting,
you take the whole thing to the wash. And because of the table, they invented this to put the chopstick on, so you know the part that you eat with don't touch the table.
Yeah, it's good. But what I was going to say is, like chopsticks, right? Who invented chopsticks? I
Chinese.
know.
I think Chinese.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you would think, because that would have been one of the first, like, knives and forks out, you know, and that. And I know, like, chopsticks came.
Fork.
Yeah, I know chopsticks came first before knives and forks, and that came later. But
what did you use before? I wonder. If you don't use chopstick
you
or
use your
knife and
hands.
fork,
You would have used your hands. And some people still eat with their hands, yeah. You know, some cultures do still eat with they hold their fingers like that. And
so whoever is a chopstick at the beginning, they're clever.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like, we're just born with it, so we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't even
but
really care. But amazing how you just
something
chopstick.
simple.
Like I use chopstick for everything.
As I'm saying, something so simple as, and yet I can't do it with the chopstick.
And you know what? My husband had one pair of chopstick for his whole life. That, not now.
No.
I wouldn't count like how many years. He said his chopsticks, from this, and it's become this short. Like, because many years of using the same pair. One pair per person. What? Really?
Yeah, it's amazing. I always wonder who invented I know China did, but someone must have did it to be caught on, kind of stuff. And I do know a lot of cultures do use chopsticks.
And we have big fat chopstick to scoop the rice out of the rice cooker, the rice pot. We don't have spoon. We don't have plastic or metal. We have ceramic pot and bowl and what do you call? Even spoon. And then no plastic ladle, the big one for the rice, until the rice pot come out.
Really?
So they got the rice cooker, and then the plastic spoon come with it.
My goodness.
And the rice cooker.
Yeah. It took, I couldn't cook rice for years and years. I overcook it or whatever,
Or undercook.
Yeah. And then one day I looked up at YouTube and I thought, how stupid. Because the one that I follow is the one that I like the best, because I could see there was different ways of doing it. And so when I cook rice now, which I can do, is thanks to YouTube, because when I watched it, this person, right, would put the rice in and boil. That's right. You boil it. You put your rice in, and you let it boil for 10 minutes or something, right? And then you turn off the stove, and you put the lid on it, and you don't open that lid for another 20 minutes or so. And it's no burnt down the bottom, nothing. It's just so easy to scoop it out, kind of stuff.
You don't have a rice cooker?
I did have one, but I don't need it,
So you use a cooking
pot
on the stove?
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Whoa!
Yeah, I learned that from YouTube. I said, hey,
that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
That's what, but we're no longer using the pot and stove anymore.
Yeah.
Since the rice cooker came out.
Yeah.
But yet, the rice cooker too. If you do have, then you know how they said it turn off to warm, and then you can scoop out and eat. No, we will leave it there for good 20 minutes to half an hour.
Right.
After it's boiled, it's switched off to warm. Don't eat it straight away. It's like risotto. It's got a bite to it. It's still undercooked. It's not fluffy and soft.
Well, mine's fluffy and soft now because I've kept it now.
Yeah, because on the stove, like you cook the traditional way.
Yeah. And it doesn't take long. I don't put too much water in and all of that.
And you think it's funny, but some people from the rice cooker, they still can't get it right. Either they take it out too early, or they leave it there forever until like about to eat. No, you fluff it up after 20 minutes or half an hour.
Yeah.
And then it stays fluffy.
Yeah.
Or it's like a cement.
Yeah. And like when I read it, like when they talked about washing the rice and all of that, one that I do. I don't even wash the rice because the lady says you don't need to. Back in the olden days, yeah, because you still had the husk and all of that kind of stuff. And if you wash the rice and all of that, you only water like it. Yeah,
nutrients.
Yeah.
But back in the olden day, we wash it because it's
Yeah, because it had stuff.
It's got dirt and rocks. And
but because it's in Australia, that's all cleaned out anyway.
It's done by machine. It never touches the ground. Nothing. Just
Yeah.
get the husk and then they filter.
Well, whatever they
out
do,
and it's very clean.
Because my friend.
But I still do quick rinse.
I
rinse it
don't.
a little bit and.
I've had to go against it. Like I thought, she says don't do it, and I don't, you know. But my friend, she still washes it and rinses it and rinses it.
No, I rinse it only once, and that water goes to the garden. It's good for the garden.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. I didn't even know that neither. See? It's amazing what we learn.
Because what happened is when they pack it in the plastic residues, so it gets float up and then it flow out with the first rinse. Like you just rinse it in the pot and then pour it in the pot of the water out.
Yeah. So,
don't really like massage the rice like in the olden times, like all these trying to wash.
Yeah. That was an interesting conversation anyway. We learned a bit.
Learned a lot today. Okay, see you. I think that's it for today.
Oh.
And thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to take my tablet.